everybody, Nicole with BirdieLooks here. I hope you're doing great today. Happy New Year. It is the year 2020 and I am with BirdieLooks. That's our company name. We are clothing resellers on the Poshmark, Mercari, eBay apps, and on YouTube also as BirdieLooks. What I do is I'm a part-time reseller of clothing, new and used. I do a mixture of things to find my inventory, such as sourcing at Goodwills and Salvation Armies, from friends and family, also retail arbitrage, and sometimes mystery boxes. It really just depends. So those are some ideas. I did try a little bit of wholesale in 2019 as well. So this video isn't about me. Just wanted to come in and say hi, start off the year with an about me video. I do plan to put up new content once a week. You can expect from me haul videos and what sold videos, tips and tricks for your business. So here we go. I'm just going to jump right in and tell you a little bit more about me real quick. And then hopefully next week I will have a haul video for you to start out the year. So first things first, my name is Nicole, like I mentioned. I'm a mom of two, Maven, who's a 1-year-old little girl, and Pierce, who is a 4-year-old little boy. Pierce is on the autism spectrum, so he does have some extra challenges, and Maven is teething, so you can imagine life is a bit crazy. Pierce does go to preschool 4 days a week, just for 3 hours a day. I think it's great for him and he loves it. However, it's not a ton of free time for mama. He still has a whole another year of preschool next year because he's one of those November babies. So, you know, the gift of time. I don't know if it's a gift. Not for mama. Mama's tired. Mama needs a break. But it's okay. And baby sister obviously doesn't go anywhere. I do not have regular childcare help. I just have a handful of young babysitters who are all around our neighborhood, and they come and help. We live in Colorado Springs, Colorado, originally from San Jose, California, born and raised. So we moved out here when my son was about 7 months old, just to have a better life. And we do have a beautiful life here. My husband Danny and I and our 2 kids have a great home, and we love our neighborhood and our neighbors, which is very rare. We have a good school system, and there's a lot of resources here. I mean, anything and everything you might want in any big city, Colorado Springs also has it, or they're about to get it. So it's a great place to be. Other than that, just to kind of give you an idea of how I started in reselling, my full-time job is that I am a manager at a moving company. Been doing that the past 8 years. I do work from home. And when I want to say Pierce was about 3.5 years old, he was just growing out of his clothes so quickly. So about 6 months ago, I heard about Poshmark, and I honestly don't remember exactly how I did, but I started selling his used clothes on Poshmark because I thought, he's got nice stuff. He wears it for only a few times because he grows so quick. And then, I don't know what to do with it, and I'm tired of trying to ship it out to family and friends because it costs so much in shipping. It doesn't make sense. I don't like just giving it to the Goodwill. So, I went ahead and started trying to sell it. Well, the clothes sold really well, and I got really hooked on Poshmark and its app. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't tried it, you should. And if you use my code BirdieLooks when you sign up, you'll get a $10 credit, and I'll get $10 credit after your first sale. So make sure you do that. And also a little plug for YouTube. If you could please like and subscribe and hit the bell, I would appreciate it very much. Very, very tiny little reselling business and big dreams, so it would help us grow. I really do appreciate you listening today. So anyway, other than that, my whole goal for having a YouTube channel as a part-time reseller and mom of 2 with a full-time job is just that. I want people like me in a similar situation to me to be able to relate to someone who's trying to do something new and see that it is possible even with very little help with your personal life, a whole bunch of other work you have to do for your real job, and maybe you just want to have a side hustle, because for me it's not just about making money, it's also about my brain. I was getting a dusty brain after 8 years of working in the moving industry. I know how to do it, and you start doing everything on automatic. And I thought, when I started learning about reselling, this is so fun. It's kind of waking me up. It's giving me new life. It's giving me energy. It's making me excited about every single day. So I really do love learning, and I like trying something new. I love business, and I've always been an entrepreneur. So for me, it kind of ticks all the boxes and really satisfies me. So I'm enjoying reselling a lot. I never ever have been a fashionista. I've never been a big shopper. I usually hated shopping, but I love sourcing for inventory. It's super fun to go out and to hunt for treasure that you can sell online for money. So that's kind of my take on that. Well, boy, what else should I tell you? So we do have a dog. She's an evil Chihuahua. Her name is Sophia, and she is not my favorite creature because she bites and barks and she's nasty, but we're just trying to help her live out her days. And that's enough about Sophie. Before I worked in the moving industry, I owned my own wedding planning company for about 8 years as well. And, that was very fulfilling. However, I did go through a divorce to my high school sweetheart, and I kind of didn't feel like being a wedding planner anymore because it just wasn't exciting anymore to me. It was kind of depressing. And it's tons of work for very little profit. To be quite honest, it's a very underappreciated industry. So I'm happy that I did it, but I'm happy I moved on. And I love my job with the moving company. It does pay the bills, and I have worked with great people, and it's part of my life. But having something that's for me too, which is the reselling business, BirdieLooks, is super awesome because I don't really have any other hobbies. I do love to sing, but I don't get to very often. I guess I like to go try new restaurants, but I don't get to very often. And most of you mamas know, it's very hard to get out in public with your kids. I mean, it takes you a long time to leave the house, and then once you're there, it's not as enjoyable as if you were alone, because you're trying to keep your kid clean and quiet and fed and entertained so that they don't blow up and ruin the ambiance of whatever place you're in. So we all know how that goes. Other things to know about me that would be good for all of you. I started with Poshmark. I just recently started an eBay store. I am using Vendoo, which I love. In late February, around the 20th or so, I believe, they're going to start charging, but there is a 25% discount for beta users. So if you can jump on and become a free beta user, at least for a few days, prior to them starting to sell their plans, which are very reasonable for what this service does for you. So I highly recommend Vendoo. I don't get any kind of kickback for mentioning them, but I do love their extension. It's not an app, and it's an extension for your computer. So I think it's an amazing tool to help you cross-list to other platforms. And so I started in eBay too because eBay tends to have a little bit of a more mature audience, which works better for some brands, and then the per item sale price is a bit higher sometimes. It's what I'm noticing. So as much as I love Poshmark, I'm going to do both, and Vendoo actually does help you manage if one item sells on Vendoo and you have it listed on eBay, it will end the eBay listing so you don't if one item is listed on Poshmark and it sells on Poshmark and it's also listed on eBay, Vendoo app extension will take down the Poshmark listing so that you don't end up accidentally selling that item twice. So totally cool, but that's not the only feature. There's many features, but I'll do some other videos on that stuff for you too. Let's see here. So other than all of that, goals for 2020 as a part-time reseller, full-time job, and full-time mom of two, my goals are truly to focus more on eBay this time around, this year. So that means everything I list on Poshmark will be listed on eBay. So that's awesome, and I'm excited. So every single day I set myself a goal. It's a small goal right now, but I might grow it as I get more comfortable with my routine. My major goals every year as a reseller, a part-time reseller, are to make sure I share my closet at least twice a day. If I could do more, like share some of the stuff to parties, I certainly will. 2, list 5 new items a day. And I hope to be able to do 10 items a day in the future, but I'm just starting small. 3, use Vendoo to cross-list items, at least 5 items a day, to my eBay store. And again, if I can get to 10 eventually, that would be great. 4, targeted following. So I go into my brands, and if you're on Poshmark, you understand how that works. And I look for closets that are fresh, that are brand new people who like the brands I sell, and I follow them. And I try to follow a big chunk of those people, different brands every day, to increase my followers, because there is a correlation between followers and attention to your closet. So I have about 27 and a half followers right now, 27,500 followers, I believe, right now. That's very small. Of course, it's going to probably take me a while to get it even higher, but I'm going to keep working at it. Other things that I, do on a daily basis, just to kind of give you an idea of what my mommy life looks like along with my work, so that maybe you can, kind of say like, yeah, my life is kind of like that too, or no, I'm slightly different, but I get what she's saying. I just want you to understand like who I am as a person and what I do every day. So as you're starting your small part-time reselling side gig, as a mommy or full-time job or whatever it is you have as another challenge in your life, you can think, okay, I'm not the only one who doesn't have this down, because I'm not perfect. Don't have this down. It's hard, and every day I do not meet my goals. I try super hard, but I don't always do what I need to do. Some days are super productive and some are just a mess. So basically, I wake up in the morning. I'm the one to go get the kids out of bed. I have to, very quickly make breakfast and get my son dressed for school and get him out the door while my husband watches the baby. When I get back, the baby goes down for her nap, and I do have kind of about 2 hours in which my son is at preschool and my daughter's napping. And that's really nice, but it's only Monday through Thursday, because Friday he doesn't have school and the weekends are just whatever. So not always like that, but I get 4 days like that. I do try on Wednesdays, when Salvation Army has their 50% off sale, to do a haul if I can or need to or want to or whatever. So I might do that on a Wednesday during that time in the morning when I'm alone with 2 hands, because I can't do a haul with, sourcing at a thrift store. Sorry, my nose is itchy. With the kids, I've tried, and it really sucks. They cry, they scream. It's super hard to focus. I pick up things I shouldn't pick up, and I end up wasting time. It just doesn't work out. So I've done it many times, and I hate it. So anyway, I use those hours to, do all the things I need to do my first share of the closet on Poshmark. I do anything that I cannot do. Well, I do my first share of the closet while my son's eating and my daughter's playing. And then once both of them are occupied with something else and my son's at school, she's napping, my next thing is to read my work full-time job, work emails, do my work full-time job follow-ups on quotes, and to, kind of interact with my team. And then I always remind myself, what can you do right now while the kids are not in your hands that you can't do when they are in your hands? So what I do next is I go straight to my Posh office, which is in my upstairs of my house. It's new, and so it's very messy. And currently, after this video is filmed, I'll be going straight upstairs to do my inventory, because it's everywhere. So working on inventorying items into bags, onto my spreadsheet, and into bins that are numbered. And it's a big project. It's going to be okay. I'm going to get through it, but definitely going to take me a long time, because I don't get to just work on it for hours. For example, when I go upstairs in a few minutes after this video is filmed, I'm really only going to have maybe a half hour. but I'm going to bust through as much as possible. I'm a hard worker, I'm focused, and I'm doing what I can't do when they're awake. When I am done doing that, the baby wakes up, my son comes home from school, my husband picks him up, I have to do lunch for both kids. I'm still doing my full-time job, so I'm like answering Yelp, because we're on Yelp with my full-time job. It's not very useful for reselling, but it is useful for moving companies. I'm answering other emails from my customers for my full-time job, phone calls for my full-time job. And once the kids are kind of done with lunch and they're settled into a routine of like playing or whatever they might be doing, I might share to a party from my Poshmark closet. And then I might start thinking, hey, I have pictures in my phone that are edited of new inventory, and I need to do my new listings, and I can do that while the kids are awake because they don't know what I'm doing on my phone. So I can sit on the floor and I can list 5 items while I play with the kids. Then I can go on Vendoo and I can cross list 5 items while I watch the kids. So those are things that are totally okay to do while they're awake and busy and around me. Then my daughter has her afternoon nap, and we typically have a babysitter for 2 hours just to kind of play with my son because he gets really bored. And with his autism spectrum, he, just like any kid, shouldn't watch too much TV because it's just going to make them cranky. So we turn off the TV. That's the rule. Babysitters aren't being paid to watch TV. And they do arts and crafts or go for a walk. We have a beautiful neighborhood. We have ponds with ducks. We have great things for kids to do. So, they play together for 2 hours. And during the time that my hands are free again, you guys know how this is if you're a mom, I make sure to go straight up to my Posh office again. And maybe I'm inventorying, or maybe I am rehabbing clothes, which includes sweater shaving, lint rolling, trimming off loose threads, stain treating, cleaning shoes, and then maybe I'm photographing. And when I'm photographing, it's quick. I'm like using my light box for shoes. Currently I hang things and take pictures. However, it's because I can't find the floor in my office right now because it's a new thing, and I intend to go 100%, almost 100% to flat lay. So I do have a new background, and I do have a ring light that's still in the box that I bought during Black Friday. So basically I'm going to transition as soon as I can, which is the reason that most of my time spent in my Posh office currently is done inventorying, so I can clean up and I can actually use my office as it's intended to be used. So anyway, that's that. Once the evening hits, then it's dinner time, bath time for both kids, back to back. And when we finally get the kids to sleep, I stuff food in my face because I'm starving. I don't get to eat healthy, and I don't get to eat regularly, and it's really frustrating. And I sit currently during the time that my kids are with me and I have to be watching them, I sit at the kitchen table to work because I have to keep an eye on them, obviously. During the time my hands are free, I'm upstairs in my Posh office and I don't have to worry about that. But I do most of my paperwork and full-time job sitting at the kitchen table, so I'm near the kitchen and I can grab some food if I'm starving. But it also leads to me eating things I shouldn't eat. Procrastinating eating, which is not good for the waistline, but you guys know how that goes. And no, I currently do not exercise, but we have a beautiful elliptical downstairs that I need to use, so I certainly need to jump back on that, and that's on my 2020 goals, but I just haven't gotten there yet, and that's okay. It's okay, it's baby steps. So in the evening, after I have dinner, then, if I have not had the chance to do my 5 listings, my 5 cross listings, take pictures, whatever it is, whatever my day has been like, if I have enough energy to make a YouTube video, to do inventorying, to do pictures, to do listings, cross listings, sharing, of course I'm going to share to the nighttime party. That's always my first thing I do after I eat dinner. I'll do those things. However, there are nights where I am so tired from being a mom that my brain kind of freaks out and I'm just tired and I can't function. So I share to the party and I might do one or two other little tiny things, but then I go sit on the couch, very rarely actually, and I watch TV with my husband and relax, but I really typically don't. I try to do as much as I can in the late hours of the day. Now my full-time job does get busier in the summer, so it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments I need to make in order to keep up with reselling during that busy time, but it's okay. We'll see how it goes. It's my first full year of reselling, so we'll see how it is. Now, if you're curious, some people talk a lot about, what does it take to start a reselling business, even part-time? What do you need? So supplies. So basically, I'm not like everyone else because I do have a full-time job. So I do have the funds to go and get all the toys, and I do have all the toys, and I do use the toys. So, there are some videos out there of people who are like, you don't need to have all the stuff. You don't need lights. You don't need backdrops. You don't need blah, 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 blah. And I beg to differ. You do. If you are going to take it seriously and you want to start from the beginning doing the best you can, you do have to make an investment in your business. So at a minimum, you have to have a clean white wall with like a command hook to hang your stuff on, a clear hanger. Don't use a colored hanger. You need a simple light kit, and they're not that expensive on Amazon. And you also need, just your cell phone to work. So cell phone is your camera, and most people's cameras are fine, so that's great. And there's free software out there to edit your pictures. I personally love PicTapGo. It's very easy and it's friendly for Apples and Androids, and I'm an Android user and a PC user. I'm not an Apple user, if that helps. Other than that, those are like your main things you need to have. And of course you're going to need a lint roller, and you will actually need a sweater shaver. And the reason you need a sweater shaver is that if you really are thrifting and you pick up, let's say, this is a new sweater, but if you took this sweater from Goodwill and you're like, this is gorgeous, let's say it's mohair, Angora rabbit fur, it's really high-end brand, let's say it's Bebe or BB, whatever, and you pull it from the rack and you go, it's so pretty, but under the armpits there's just a little bit of pilling, which is like when the fabric balls up. You don't want to have to put that back just because you don't have the right thing to fix it. You can buy a super cheap sweater shaver on Amazon, or even at like Rite Aid, anywhere, Target, whatever, and use it to fix up a little bit of pilling here and there so that you can sell used clothes. I don't think you can do this without having at least a basic sweater shaver, so just keep that in mind. Other than that, knowing how to get stains out, you can just go online on YouTube and learn how to do a lot of that stuff. Shoe cleaning is as simple as like baby wipes and Clorox wipes that you can get anywhere. And if you want, probably to grab some of the Doc Martens Wonder Balm, that would be another really fantastic tool for any leather purses or shoes that you are picking up that you kind of want to renew if you want to sell. So those are just some of the basic things that you need, in my opinion, but they do cost money. Obviously too, one of the nice things about only doing Poshmark is that you can, when you ship, all flat rate and flat rate and priority USPS packaging materials are free. So you can order them to come to your home, and then you can use them to pack up your items and bring them to the post office, and the shipping labels are already paid for by the purchaser. You just print them out of your printer at home. You can cut them out in the beginning or fold them, whatever you want to do, tape them onto the package, drop them at your USPS. So you won't have a cost of materials for shipping if you're just doing Poshmark. When you expand into eBay, you do need to have your own poly mailers, and you also need to have like a couple rolls of tape to tape your labels on if you don't have a label printer. I currently don't have a label printer, and the reason being is that I use a Chromebook, and there's no label printer compatible to Chromebook. currently that I have found. So, that's fine. The way I'm doing it now is okay. You don't really need anything too fancy. I choose to have postcards. I order them on Vistaprint that just are like little thank you notes. Sometimes I write the customer's name on there and I sign it with my name, and I circle a little inside secret is that with Poshmark, only 5-star reviews show up, and only 5-star reviews with comments show up. So what do you want from your customer? You want a 5-star review with a comment. It's called a love note. Nothing else shows up, which is awesome because, I did actually get 2 3-star reviews this week, and it happens. I'll talk about it in a different video just to explain to you how to deal with things like that, but they don't show up anyway. Of course, you don't want that to be a common thread. It might lower your rating, but currently I'm still at a 5-star average rating, which is awesome. But when it comes to my little postcard, just a little tip for all you resellers out there, if you're trying to build your love notes, I have a pre-printed postcard that says thank you and space for their name, and it says we love the way you look, love BirdieLooks, but it also says please leave a comment with your rating, and I kind of circle that because if they don't leave a comment with their 5-star rating, then it's just not even going to matter. So just a little tip. But anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this About Me video. Hopefully some of the information I gave you just gets you kind of introduced to me, to BirdieLooks, and then also shows you how I started, why I started, what I do, what I think you need to begin your business, and some tips and hints. So I'll see you next week when I put on another video. Not sure yet if it's going to be a haul video, a what sold video, or a tips and hints video, but there will be something coming. So please make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell. I appreciate you guys and hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.